And mighty dry across central Alabama. New drought monitor is out. Drought conditions getting worse. More on your local forecast in just a few minutes.
And President Joe Biden addressed the nation today. We'll tell you about some key takeaways from the speech as he prepares for the transition of power. And Bibb County has received a grant. How much did they receive and what new projects can the county expect? WVUA 23 News starts right now.
This is WVUA 23 News.
And we're glad you're with us tonight. I'm Jabari Pruitt. Our top story tonight, the transition continues from one president to the next. President Joe Biden addressed the nation from the White House today. It's the first time we've heard from him since Kamala Harris's loss to President-elect Donald Trump. The president promised an orderly transfer of power. Julia Bentbrook reports.
President Joe Biden speaking publicly for the first time since the country voted to send Donald Trump back to the White House.
Campaigns are contests of competing visions. The country chooses one or the other. We accept the choice the country made.
He promised a peaceful transition of power and repurposed a line he used often on the campaign trail to draw contrast with Trump before dropping out of the race.
You can't love your country only when you win.
Biden emphasized the integrity of the American electoral system, something Trump repeatedly questioned in the aftermath of the 2020 election, spreading false claims about voter fraud and launching a series of legal challenges in swing states.
It is honest, it is fair, and it is transparent. And it can be trusted, win or lose.
During the remarks, Biden took a moment to speak directly to members of his cabinet and senior staff in the audience and promised to stay committed in the final days of his presidency.
Now we have 74 days to finish the term, our term. Let's make every day count. That's the responsibility we have to the American people.
The president spoke with the president-elect Wednesday to congratulate him on his victory and invite him to the White House. A source familiar says Trump's team is in discussions about when he should visit. It could happen as early as next week. Reporting at the White House, I'm Julia Bentbrook.
Well, racist text messages from unknown sources were sent out across the country following the presidential election. The text told people they have been selected to pick cotton at the nearest plantation. One UA student's parent reported the message to the college after a friend received the text. The university released a statement following saying, quote, "It is our understanding that the individuals across the country have received these disgusting messages. This has been reported to the authorities, and we're asking anyone who may have information regarding these messages to report it to the appropriate authorities." UA students who have seen or received such messages are also encouraged to contact the Office of Student Care and Well-Being for any additional support they may be needed, end quote. Well, turning our attention now to the weather, a cloudy start to our Thursday, but I hear some rain maybe on our forecast. Chief Meteorologist Richard Scott is here with a first look at that forecast. Richard, good evening.
Hey, Jabbar, good evening. We need the rain badly across central Alabama, and I think we'll get that as we go towards the weekend. First off, 77 in Tuscaloosa, still 80 in Birmingham, Talladega at 81. Very warm across central Alabama. And our forecast tonight, warm and muggy, 70 at 10, 69 just after midnight of Friday. The potential for a few brief showers. Now, rain chances will go up over the weekend. Jabari will talk about the local forecast here in just a little bit.
Richard, thank you. Good news from Bibb County. The county received a grant from the Tom Bigby RC&D Council. The $77,000 grant goes towards a variety of projects in the area. Today was a gathering of business leaders and community members who are witness to the good that comes from the grant money. The money will have a big impact in Centerville for public safety and facilities projects.
So today is an exciting day because it brings that process full circle for us, because we as the legislative delegation actually get to see the grants that have been chosen and the great things that are going to be done with this money that has been designated through RC&D.
Now, Centerville Police Department was able to purchase new equipment using the grant money. And Centerville Main Street conducted a market presentation today based on a city survey. The study was designed to hear what services were important to Bibb County residents. Many have to travel to Tuscaloosa and Birmingham for restaurants, concerts, and events. The data presented from this survey was used to show business leaders the importance of bringing new businesses to the area. The goal is to make Bibb County a thriving business district.
They want more places to eat and drink, and they want more family-friendly activities. And that's one thing that we're doing with our fundraisers and just community events. People want things to do. They want to be able to leave their house and have fun without having to go to Birmingham or Tuscaloosa. They want to help support the community here and have fun with their friends and family here without, like I said, without having to leave the county.
Now, after the presentation, leaders and business owners say they're excited about the possibility of bringing more entertainment opportunities to Centerville. Well, the University of Alabama Board of Trustees is meeting tomorrow in Tuscaloosa. Renovations to Coleman Coliseum is on their agenda. Now, they'll be voting on a construction contract for the Coliseum. That work includes a basketball training and player development facility expansion. The trustees will also vote on installation of equipment for Wi-Fi network expansion at UA athletic venues. Now, they'll also approve preliminary project work on Gorgas Library. Well, Shelton State will soon offer 3 new free courses as part of its Skills for Success program. The courses are in ambulance operator, community health worker, and customer service. This program helps students complete rapid training online and in class for high-demand jobs. Visit sheltonstate.edu for additional information and to register. Well, Pickens County will soon have a new school superintendent. Sean McDaniel won the vote Tuesday. McDaniel ran against Democrat Melinda Robinson. Now, he won with 5,229 votes, which was 59% of the votes. McDaniel is a Pickens County native who's ready to accomplish new goals.
I think one of the first things we want to do is take a full assessment, evaluate the education process of academics. How can we improve continuously to create for our students? Second thing we want to do is teacher recruitment. I think that's vital. We've got to have high quality teachers in the teacher shortage that we're in that wants to live and serve in a rural school district. And the other thing that's very important is the infrastructure. We've got to look at some of our facilities and buildings and things like that for capital plan.
McDaniel says he's very excited and feels good about voters' confidence in him to help lead students into their future. Well, Governor Kay Ivey was in McCalla today for the ribbon cutting at J.M. Smucker. The plan is a $1.1 billion project that will provide 400 jobs. J.M. Smucker, CEO, and Jefferson County Economic and Industrial Authority Executive Director and County Commissioner were also in attendance. Well, the Federal Reserve's cut interest rates 1/4 point today. It's the second rate cut this year, and it reduces the Fed's benchmark rate to about 4.6%. Back in September, the Fed cut rates by 1/2 point, which reflected the Fed's renewed focus on supporting the job market as well as fighting inflation. Well, the return of Holidays on the Plaza is a few weeks away. We'll tell you the dates and how to buy tickets for ice skating.
I'm Tuscaloosa County Sheriff Ron Abernathy. Tuscaloosa County's Most Wanted is next.
And the Red Kettle campaign has begun. It's the Salvation Army's oldest and most important annual fundraiser. The money raised by the campaign will provide food, shelter, and social services to residents who may be in crisis after the holiday season ends. Now, the Salvation Army has set a fundraising goal of $80,000 this year. Now, you can now contribute by credit cards, Apple Pay, Google Pay, and Venmo, in addition to the traditional Red Kettle and bell ringers outside area businesses. Well, the wait for the annual return of Holidays on the Plaza is almost over. The outdoor ice skating rink returns to Tuscaloosa on November 29th and remains open until January 20th. Now, guests can enjoy ice skating at Government Plaza next to One Place Tinsel Trail. Now, businesses and civic organizations decorate Christmas trees all along the trail. Admission to the event is free, but guests have to buy passes to ice skate. Now, tickets can be purchased on site and are good for any day of the season. Well, foodborne illnesses are an issue for an estimated 48 million people each year in the United States, and it has been front and center in the news recently. Mandy Gaither has the key steps to prevent food poisoning.
Of the millions of Americans who get sick from foodborne illnesses every year, the CDC estimates 128,000 are hospitalized and 3,000 die.
That just a small number of bacteria can actually cause illness.
Dr. Sanjay Gupta says many of the foodborne illnesses making headlines lately are happening outside the home. He says whoever preps food needs to pay close attention to temperature and avoid the danger zone, which is between 40 and 140 degrees.
So if you're getting cold food, it should be colder than 40 degrees. If you're getting warm food, it should be steaming hot, greater than 140 degrees. Do those things. That'll go a long way towards keeping you safe.
The CDC says protecting against foodborne illness at home can be done with 4 simple steps. First, clean. That means washing your hands before, during, and after preparing food and after handling things like uncooked meat. You should also make sure utensils, cutting boards, and countertops are clean, and rinse fresh fruits and veggies under running water. The next step is separate. Keep raw meat, chicken and poultry, seafood and eggs away from other foods. Don't use the same cutting boards during food prep. Third, cook foods to the right temperature. Using a food thermometer is the only way to do that. Finally, chill. Refrigerate perishable food within 2 hours. For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Well, the CDC says to prevent bacteria from spreading, never thaw food on the counter. Instead, you should thaw it in the refrigerator in cold water or the microwave. Well, 25-year-old Jordan Lopez of Oakman was arrested Tuesday and taken to the Walker County Jail. Lopez had a felony warrant for kidnapping, burglary, and domestic violence. He was arrested in the Oakman community by U.S. Marshals Fugitive Task Force. WVUA 23 and the Tuscaloosa County Sheriff's Office need your help locating some of Tuscaloosa County's most wanted. Marco Sanchez, white male, 46 years of age, 6'1", 220 pounds, gray hair, brown eyes, last known to be living in the area of Morgan Road, Bessemer, Alabama, wanted for theft of property, first degree. Adam Burks, black male, 27 years of age, 6'6", 140 pounds, black hair, brown eyes, last known to be living in the area of Vance Blockton Road, West Blockton, Alabama, wanted for identity theft. Jessica Nichols, white female, 35 years of age, 5'5", 150 pounds, blonde hair, brown eyes, last known to be living in the area of New Ulm, Texas, wanted for theft of property, first degree. If you have any information on these or others wanted by the Tuscaloosa County Sheriff's Office, please contact them at 205-464-8672 or on their website, tcsoal.org.
In our local weather, nice and quiet this evening across West Alabama. Temperatures dropping the 60s overnight. Your local forecast after the break. Hear my forecast every day on Rock 106.3 FM. And most of West Alabama, nice and quiet. A live view. This is down along Highway 80 in southern Perry County, looking at the community of Uniontown, Alabama. And conditions very quiet out there. No rain so far this evening, but the chances of a rain will be increasing locally. Again, this is the Algo traffic camera. Let's go to our Pfeiffer cam at Fayette and check out the things. And hey, the day's getting shorter and shorter by the day. And again, that is an early sunset. 72 currently at Fayette. At least it's warm outside. The shorter days, at least it's still warm. It will be cold before you know it, though. And from Bryant Denny and Tuscaloosa, a pretty sunset. 77 out the door. Wind out of the north around 7 miles per hour. Radar nice and quiet. Some ground clutter around the radar side, but no rain out there. No chance for rain for this evening. For the most part, I think most of us staying dry there. 78 in Demopolis now. And again, some of the warmer spots like Birmingham reporting 80 and Sylacauga at 79. To put on the satellite, had quite a bit of cloud cover today, but some clearing, especially this evening, giving us that pretty sunset out there across parts of the area. Here's a look at our temperatures tonight. 70 at 10, 69 at 1 a.m. And for the kiddos heading to school for Friday morning, a mild start to the day. There may be a brief shower tomorrow morning. Most likely you'll stay dry, though, and a few scattered thunderstorms and showers a possibility tomorrow. But understand the risk of rain for any one spot, only around 20 or 30% for tomorrow here. And again, our forecast by lunchtime up to 78. Light northeast breeze for tomorrow. And our weekend coming up, rain a good possibility at times on Saturday and Sunday. It doesn't rain nonstop, but understand some passing downpours, a good possibility. It's hard to believe we got a powerful hurricane. This thing looks like it's about to become a major hurricane once again in the Gulf of Mexico. But what is unusual about this, and this is one of the only times I've ever seen this happen, is this powerful hurricane in the Gulf of Mexico is never going to make landfall. It made landfall in Cuba yesterday, but in terms of the Mexican coastline or the U.S. coastline here, not expecting that, as this hurricane will literally fade away in the western Gulf of Mexico into nothing. And that is something unusual. You don't see that often, but a lot of wind shear will come over the Gulf of Mexico. That is a saving grace for any coastline as the storm just basically dissipates. So here's what's happening with the drought monitor. New update from the U.S. Drought Services. And again, we need the rain bad across Alabama. I think we'll get some of that coming up here locally. In fact, your forecast does include a rain chance up to 50 and 60% for the weekend. That is a good thing. I know being on the weekend, not necessarily good, but we need the rain. Look for temperatures in the low 80s on Saturday. We got mid 70s on Sunday and into next week. And again, rain chances will come down some for Veterans Day, but still a few passing rain showers around on Monday. And then evidence of another front coming in on Thursday. Now, there is sign, Jabari, and we're looking at some cooler weather potentially coming in with that front. And looking at long-range models, I don't see any extreme cold air, Jabari, but it looks like it's going to kind of settle down a little bit, a little cooler than it has been.
Well, I'm ready for it to get just a little cooler as we get closer to the holidays.
Yeah, we need it.
Yeah, exactly. All right, thank you. Well, Richard, Gary Harris, rather, is here with the first look at what's coming up in sports. Gary, good evening.
Hey, Jabari, we've got the state high school football playoffs beginning this evening. And we'll have our Football Friday Game of the Week preview, which happens tomorrow night. That's coming up. And Jalen Milroe discusses what makes a dual threat quarterback so difficult to defend for opposing defenses, like the one Saturday night at LSU. Sports is next. And good evening, I'm Gary Harris. The state high school football playoffs begin tonight in Alabama, and tomorrow night it's the playoff edition of Football Friday at 10:30. Our game of the week is a Class 6A contest as the Northridge Jaguars travel southeast to Russell County. Theodore Fernandez has our preview.
Northridge football has done a complete 180 this season, going from 3-7 in 2023 to 7-3 this year. The Jaguars closed the season off on a 3-game winning streak. They've earned themselves a spot in the Class 6A playoffs. Their reward? A 3-hour bus ride to go take on an elite Russell County squad.
Russell County's very athletic. They're 8-2. They got a quarterback through 9 touchdowns in one game. They got a running back. If you don't get him down quick, you're not going to get him down. They got receivers with scholarship offers all over the field, and they score a lot of points. So we're going to go and we're going to plan on stopping them. We're going to plan on scoring, and we're going to plan on coming out of there with a win.
Northridge has not won a playoff game since 2015. However, Lolly is used to postseason success, having won 18 playoff games over 9 seasons as the head coach of Gorda.
Anytime you win a playoff game, it's special. And, if you've won a lot of playoff games, there's people that take it for granted. That's one thing I'll never take for granted.
Lolly was brought into Northridge to bring the Jaguars to playoff glory. We'll find out if his team is ready to do that on Friday. Reporting from Northridge High School, Theodore Fernandez, WVUA 23 Sports.
And thanks, Theodore. As we said, Football Friday tomorrow night at 10:30, the first round playoff edition. So we'll be ready to go on Friday night. Now to college football. Alabama travels to LSU on Saturday night, and Tigers head coach Brian Kelly says Alabama may not have Nick Saban as the head coach anymore, but the Crimson Tide's talent level is, in his opinion, still at an elite level.
And now we take on an outstanding football team, probably as balanced of a football team that we're going to play this year. And when I mean balanced, I don't mean necessarily in terms of offense, defense, in terms of 50-50. I mean talent level across the board. Apparently no weaknesses in my eyes relative to their talent level.
And I've already mentioned a few times this week that Alabama's 29-10-2 all-time against LSU and Baton Rouge, so the Tide should be confident. Jalen Milroe is certainly confident in his talent and ability to give the LSU defense trouble as a dual-threat quarterback.
It's hard for any defense to go against a running quarterback. You know, there's so much things that they have to look at when it comes to stopping a quarterback and throw and pass the football, and that's just hard for any defense to go against, no matter if it's LSU, no matter what opponent it is. It's just hard for any defense to stop the element of the pass and run.
And Alabama in the NBA update. Brandon Miller scored 19 points to go along with 6 rebounds and 4 assists in the Hornets' 108-107 win over the Pistons. But you see it right here. This putback of a missed shot at the buzzer won the game for Charlotte. Now, he didn't have a great shooting performance, but he came through when it mattered most for the Hornets. He was clutch. And Jabari, clutch is everything in sports.
All right, Garrett, thank you. Stick around. We're coming right back.
Welcome. You've got mail. Files done. Goodbye.
The voice of AOL's iconic greeting, "You've Got Mail," has died at the age of 74. More than 30 years ago, Elwood Edwards recording 4 iconic lines for what was then little-known company as America Online. Now, those phrases were "welcome," "you've got mail," "files done," and "goodbye." The words would eventually be heard by hundreds of millions of people and become a key part of AOL experience, propelling Edwards' voice to worldwide fame.
Wow.
AOL.
Brings back memories.
Bring back memories.
Yeah,
AOL.
I spent a little time on there, Younger.
Final sports.
Yeah, tonight I mentioned we got high school playoff action tonight. Hoover plays Fairfield, and Hale County is at Bayside Academy. Highlights tonight at 10.
All right, final weather.
Hey, college football, we're talking about this in the break. It could be some wet weather for the Bama game. Alabama taking on LSU down in Baton Rouge. And I don't expect a major hazardous type of rainfall, but that could have some impact on the game, as Gary, you know very well. Our local weather includes some showers here as well.
All right, that's it for us. Have a great evening.
See you.